Okay, here it says the ratio of cups of sugar to cups of flour to make a cake is 1:3. Which of the following might represent a possible total number of cups of sugar to cups of flour if several cakes were baked? So this is important here. It's telling us the ratio of cups of sugar to cups of flour to make a cake is 1:3. Now what does that mean? That means that if we were to bake a cake, for every single cake that we bake, and I'm going to draw a table here, it might help us understand a little bit better. For every single cake that we were to bake, it says that we need 1 cup of sugar. So I'm going to put here S, that stands for sugar, and then F, which is flour, says we need 1 cup of sugar for every 3 cups of flour. Okay, so if we were to bake a cake, we would need 1 cup of sugar for every 3 cups of flour. Now let's just say we were to bake 2 cakes. We would need double the amount, so we would need 2 cups of sugar, and how many cups of flour that would be? That would be twice as many of flour, which would be 6. We're to bake 3 cakes, that would be an extra cup of sugar, and we would have to now add 3 times the amount of flour, so it would be 9. You guys see the pattern here? And so the question is asking, which of the following might represent a possible total number of cups of sugar to cups of flour if several cakes were baked? Now we're not being told how many cakes are baked. We're being asked what could be a possible ratio if an X amount of cakes were to be baked. Now if we look at this table here, we could extend this table and we could continue this pattern until we find one of these numbers here. Okay? And we match it to our answer. Now this might take us a very long time, and usually on your test they're going to give you numbers that are really big. So I'm going to show you a different, or a strategy that we can use, or a different way of solving this instead of the table. Now if you're comfortable with the table, you keep on going, go all the way until you have 12 cups of sugar, or 36 cups of sugar, or 5 cups of sugar, and see if you can match any of them to these answers here. Okay? So one way of solving this is we could set up a ratio. So I'm just going to put this paper here, and we're going to use our answer choices in order to match them to a ratio of 1:3. So this is very important right here. The very first thing we're going to do, we're going to label our units. So we know that we need 1 cup of sugar for every 3 cups of flour. Now I can't stress how important it is. Please label your units, because if you don't label your units, you're gonna get you might get your answer wrong. You might start flipping your ratios around. So this is one way that we can solve this. We're gonna go through all of our answer choices and we're gonna see which ones match by forming 2 equivalent ratios. So here it says that if we were to have 12 cups of flour, we need 36 cups of sugar. Well, let's check to see if that matches our first ratio here. So we're going to set up a proportion. Now the 12 cups of flour, notice how it says flour here. If I put flour here in the bottom, in my second ratio, I got to put flour in the bottom. I can't put it up here. If flour's in the bottom in our first ratio, I got to put flour here in the bottom in our second ratio. So we're going to put 12 cups of flour and 36 cups of sugar. So let's see if this is true. According to this ratio, if these are 2 equivalent ratios, then if we were to cross multiply, they should be equal to each other. So if we need 1 cup of sugar for 3 cups of flour, let's check to see if we would need 36 cups of sugar for 12 cups of flour. Now I just want you guys to understand this. This doesn't make sense here because look at your ratio. You're always going to need more flour than sugar. And just by looking at the second ratio over here to the right side, here we have more sugar than flour. It doesn't make sense at all. But nevertheless, let's just go ahead and check to make sure that this can't be a possible answer. So we're to cross multiply 3 times 36. That would be 108. And we multiply 12 times 1, that's 12. And these are not 2 equivalent ratios, so that can't be your answer. Okay? So let's move on. and check the next answer choice. So here it's saying 12 cups of sugar. We would need 36 cups of flour. So let's start with our ratio. We know that for 1 cup of sugar, every cup of sugar, we need 3 cups of flour. Now let's set up our second ratio. 12 cups of sugar, where am I going to put down, the top or the bottom? You guys got it in the top, right? 12 cups of sugar, because we got to match sugar with sugar. And 36 cups of flour, I'm going to put that here in the bottom. We got flour here in the bottom, so I got to put flour here in the bottom. And let's cross multiply these, see if they're equal to each other. 3 times 12, that is 36. And 36 times 1, that is 36. So these two match, so that means these are two equivalent ratios. So B would be your answer. Now if you guys were to set up your ratio, or your proportion, I'm sorry, your two equivalent ratios for any of these, for these other two answer choices, you would see that they would not match. Now another way of doing this, maybe you feel more comfortable simplifying. What you can do too, you could take every single one of these answer choices and you can simplify them too. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to do B here. If we have 12 cups of sugar, we would need 36 cups of flour. So let's see if that is equivalent to 1/3. Now, if you guys are good with your multiplication facts, you know you can divide both sides by 12. 12 divided by 12, that's 1. 36 divided by 12, that's 3. And let's go ahead and label our units. We have sugar here, and we've got flour here in the bottom. So 12 over 36 is the same as 1/3. So for every 1 cup of sugar, we need 3 cups of flour. So these are also equivalent to equivalent ratios. So hope this video helped you guys.